Hey, this is Christian, and you're listening to the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 5 Moves of Doom podcast. My name is Ben, I am your host, and joining me as always, as is traditional these days, it's the Rockstar Jack Lidinger.
Let me just pull my chair up a bit more. For all you wrestling fans out there, I hope you watched the Premier League action this weekend, because boy, was it good.
How many of our audience do you think watches the English Premier League?
If you're a football fan, get in touch. Who's going to win the Premier League? Get in touch with me.
No. We don't talk Premier League football.
Not
on the 5 Moves of Doom podcast.
What else? How have I been?
That's what I usually ask.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
How have you been?
It's WrestleMania week, Jack.
WrestleMania,
starting 10 p.m. tonight. It is WrestleMania week.
That is it.
And we are there 1 year on. Can you remember the hype that we had last year?
Yes.
It's back. It's setting in.
It's coming, man.
Oh, it's good. It's good. This is my favourite week of the year. I love Christmas. But this is it. This is a Christmas.
Christmas, man.
This is Christmas for wrestling fans.
Santa Claus.
Doesn't matter how good the card is, it'll always be an amazing show, WrestleMania.
I look forward to it, because I have soured on this card. I'm
Yeah?
not going to lie, I've soured on it big time. But I'm still really looking forward to it because I just get to sit back, like you said, get all shit.
Get your beard, get your pizzas.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to that and just chilling, man.
It makes me laugh because people are kissing off about the 8 hours. I would love 8 hours of wrestling. I lap it up. Let's make Mania the biggest thing ever.
I read a very interesting take the other day.
Yeah?
What if Mania was over 2 days?
See, many years ago, before you joined us, Jackie, at the 5 Moves Doom podcast, back when my friend Mike, the founding member, Mike Taylor, shout out to the original members, we said, what if it was 2 days? What if it was a festival, like a festival?
Yeah.
And then you had your 2 headliners.
Yeah.
Would it work? It kind of is with NXT and the Hall of Fame. They have this big celebration. I don't know. I think they'll still sell out both nights. They'll still sell out both nights, easily. They just. I just
think the crowd would be so much more into it.
As long as they don't do a SmackDown night and a Raw night, they mix it up.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
And then because I worry about by the time these 3 main events are coming around, the crowd is just gonna be dead again.
I think we've got lulls in there where the crowd can go and have a little walk around, stretch their legs, get a drink, have a slash.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this WrestleMania. I think the card's decent. It's a good card.
The 3 main events is fantastic.
Yes.
Love it. Really looking forward to it.
And I think on next week's episode, which will be recorded early, but we'll be going live on the day of WrestleMania next year, next week.
Next year.
Will be our predictions for WrestleMania.
And the card will be finalised?
It will. We hope so.
We hope so.
We hope so, because they have been known to announce WrestleMania matches on the day. So, before we jump into the rest of the show, though, ladies and gentlemen, let me just remind you to head over to your chosen social media platform of choice, Jack.
Facebook.
Make sure you're following us on Facebook to keep up to date with everything that we are doing. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, whether you're the people on Spotify, whether you're on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I'm being told it's called now, or on Google or on Podbean or wherever, let's come together and agree to subscribe and like and follow to the 5 Moves Doom podcast so that you do not miss an episode of our great show. No spoiler alert. In depth, the big changes coming in the next few months.
Yes.
Very, very big changes. And the last thing you can do for us to show is some support. Head over to smarttees.co.uk. Grab yourself.
They're beautiful.
The limited edition When the Man Comes Around Becky Lynch t-shirt. Wow. It is. I'm gonna like it. I designed it, but it is something special. Get yourself one of them while they're.
People are liking it.
People are liking it a lot. It's going well. I've had people message about where they can get to him, and I give them a link. Head over to smarttees.co. Smartmark.co. What is it? Smart Tees, Smart Clothing. Whatever I said earlier, it's that one. Make sure you head over there and you buy yourself a t-shirt.
Yeah, they are very, very good guys there.
Right. We told you all last week what we were going to do now. We're going to kick off today's show with some NXT previews and predictions. So, I'll give it to you, Jack. Do you want to start with the big one and we'll get it out of the way and you can talk about her now? Or should we save that?
We're going to save it.
We'll save it. We'll do it later on. We're not doing it last.
No, we're not doing it last.
My boy's in the main event.
I'll give you that, but I'm not concentrating on that in a minute.
Right.
I'm concentrating on how damn good this card looks.
Yeah? I've got a slight issue with one thing.
What's that?
Ricochet and Black winning the Dusty Rhodes Classic. This is the third time?
Yes.
Fourth time we've had Dusty Rhodes Classic, and twice out of the four, it's been won by a team that isn't a tag team.
I completely agree.
But I understand Ricochet and Black one last hurrah. They're gonna probably lose and then do their goodbye in the ring.
I thought about this, and I thought, would you sooner have Aleister Black and Ricochet be forced into some kind of feud when it's not really meant to be? You know what I mean? They need to be on this card. We can all agree on that. They need to be on it. But I think I'd sooner be...
Do they?
Yes.
Are they not on the Mania card?
Because this is like the final farewell.
Are they not on the Mania card?
We shall see. But I will say, I'd sooner have them in this match than being somewhere else and being not very relevant.
I suppose.
But I would sooner have the Street Profits in it.
Yeah. You know who I would have had win the Dusty Road Classic? Mustache Mountain.
Mustache Mountain.
How over a Mustache Mountain?
Street Profits, man.
Yeah, I do like Street Profits. No, I'm lying to you. I like Montez Ford. I'm not a big fan of Angelo Dawkins. But I'm willing to learn to love Angelo Dawkins.
He's there to be learned to love.
The best example is Enzo and Cass. I didn't like Cass, but I was a big fan of Enzo together in NXT. So I learned to love Cass as part of that act. So Angelo Dawkins, same sort of thing. I can learn to love him. I think... Well, let me ask you, who's going to win? War Raiders or Black and Ricochet?
Is it for the title?
Yeah.
War Raiders.
Yeah. I agree.
If it's not, then... Aleister Black and Ricochet, man.
Purely because, and this is the only reason I see this, because I've been on Main already, and I think they'll be in the Raw Tag Team Championship match on Mania, I think this is their goodbye.
Yeah.
I think like you said, they've put them in this match so they can do their goodbye at the end. Which, Black, I can sort of see why he gets a big goodbye. Ricochet, not been there that long.
Not been there that long, but he's ready now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of having the big goodbye, like Sami Zayn got and Finn got and everything.
Yeah.
He's not been there that long. He's not been the main event guy. I'm happy he's at Main. I think he's going to be brilliant at Main with the right booking behind him. I think the next match on the card...
Wait. Because, one last point on this match. Because they're on the main card, I don't think this is going to be a long match at all. Because they're going to be worried about injuries.
Oh, they don't want to hurt him? Yeah, they're going to just go out there and get the job done. 10 minutes.
Yeah, max.
No, yeah, also, because we've got a fatal 4-way to get in and a 2 out of 3 falls to get in. And Raw and NXT takeovers tend to go for about 2.5 hours, 3 at max. So we've got a lot of match to get stuck into this. A lot of match to get into the show later on in the night.
Yeah.
This one.
This could be match of the weekend for me.
I'm so happy it's on NXT TakeOver. They could have shoved this on NXT UK. They could have shoved it on TakeOver Blackpool 2 whenever that is.
They could have shoved it on
Weekly TV.
Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
Even though it's not.
We're talking about Pete Dunne versus Volta.
Yes.
I have seen both of these guys wrestle in the flesh. Volta was the most over act I've seen in England. I went to Progress, Pumpkin Spice Progress at Halloween last year. And the sheer volume of fans chanting his music, which has no words. Friend of the show, you've all heard him before, Cian Taylor was with me there. He decided to break out into Baby Shark, 'cause it's the same intro. He got shot down by about 700 Progress fans that all turned around to him at the same time. Unfortunately, great match. It's only going one way. I'm going to write it down, see what your reaction is.
Yes. I was nervous you was going to say the other thing.
No.
I agree.
I love Pete Dunne.
I love him to bits.
I think he's not the finished product. I think he has got 80% the finished product, and coming to probably a bit longer in NXT, but eventually he will make his way to main, and under the tutelage of Triple H and Regal, he will become a megastar.
Yes. But I think he is already.
Oh, I think Walter is. I was going to say time's up on his UK run, his title run. So I think Walter takes it. Walter carries the UK division for the next year.
Yes.
And then we see Walter in the Rumble. He won't win the Rumble, but his call up will be in the Rumble. You're saying Walter as well?
I am saying Walter as well. But let's discuss the future of Pete Dunne after this. Is he going to NXT properly, or does he go to main?
He goes to NXT, and I'll tell you why. Because Black and Ricochet are two mega over baby faces, which are going to main. Gargano is possibly going to main, depending on. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but that is a very big maybe.
Yep.
If not, I can see him going 205 Live. So that's another baby face you've got off of the card. Dream potentially coming up after Mania.
Yes.
Potentially, and then and Ciampa's out injured. You've got a very, very small main event scene on NXT at the minute.
That's what they need, man.
So Dunne, for me, goes to NXT for a bit.
And eventually, Mustache Mountain.
What, to come up together? British Strong Style?
I don't know. I like the thought of one of them turning.
But, right, I'm going to get proper hipster wrestling fan if you hear. If you know the story of British Strong Style, Mustache Mountain, they've all turned on each other.
Yeah.
Because Trent Seven and Tyler Bate were a tag team, and Trent turned on Tyler to join with Pete, and then Tyler joined them afterwards a bit further on down the line. That's a very, very, very poor way of summing up their storyline, but that is roughly how it happened. So the turning on each other's done.
Yeah,
the thing is about British Strong Style.
Not really. They've not done it in.
No, but the thing about British Strong Style is theirs is a story that didn't start at WWE, and it's going to transcend WWE. And when they walk out at Double or Nothing, the world will go mad because, oh my God, sign for AEW. But do you know what I mean? It's a case of they don't have to. I do think New Day should turn each other now. New Day.
I just want to see one of them heel. I think Tyler Bate could be a great heel.
Pete Dunne was heel at the start.
Yeah, he was heel at the start, but now he's just loved by everybody.
Tyler Bate being a cocky heel that wears Hawaiian shirts and big gold chains and shades. Walter's carrying the belt out though.
He sure is.
Dream and Riddle.
Ooh. Not thought about this one.
Get it?
No.
Yeah, Riddle.
I think he probably will. Are you asking for my predictions of what I think will happen or what I want to happen?
You can tell me both, but then you've got to pick one to put down on paper.
Okay, let me try and convince myself. I think Matt Riddle will walk away.
Yeah.
With the title, but I don't think he's ready yet. He's been in NXT 5 minutes. I know that the North American title.
It's only the North American title.
Doesn't really matter, but I think Dream's just worked really hard, and he's got that title.
I think Dream has done all he can in NXT, and I think Dream will be on SmackDown after Mania. Because I don't think he would have been, but then I don't think Gargano's coming up, because I think they're going to wait.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I've convinced myself Riddle's going to win, because if Dream continues in NXT, is on the decline kind of at the minute anyway. If you notice, he's not as over as he used to be.
Yeah.
And I think a fresh face on SmackDown, people will be excited for him again.
You know what I like about Dream, and it's more to do with his booking, is, to my knowledge, and I may be wrong because this is off the top of my head, he has faced a different person at every takeover.
Yeah.
There has been no 18-month story where we've had the same match in 14 different match types, like Gargano and Ciampa. There's been no rematch after belt swapping and that. There's been no...
Yeah, you are correct.
He faces someone different at every takeover.
And that's him.
He steals the show at every takeover. No, I think it's good. I think it's good.
I don't know, man.
Because it shows he can steal the show with everyone. Name me a bad match that the Velveteen Dream's had.
He's not had a bad match. He has not had a bad match, but I would have liked to see him in a match with someone he's already faced and had a continuous storyline with that. Because the other day he was having a promo with Adam Cole, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll get into it, but they didn't.
Don't forget the Ciampa injury has
obviously
changed
Ciampa
everything.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see him in that not long feud, just a 3 months job.
I just think the fact that they've showed that he can work with nearly everyone. He got nearly 5 stars out of Ono. I mean, Ono's a 5-star wrestler anyway. But then he got 5 stars out of Black again. You know what I mean? And then he got another near 5 stars with Riddle. In fact, no, I'm lying. No, it wasn't Riddle. It was Riddle and Ono went twice. Yeah, so he can. He's that versatile. And I think without a year-long title run with the NXT Championship, he's hit his limit in NXT.
Yes. I agree.
Strike while they are.
That's why I'm going to go with Riddle. But I also don't really like how many times it's turned.
No, but I don't like multiple turns with the bit. I think he was a fantastic heel and he's a fantastic face. So just pick one and go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes.
Or is he a character that just transcends heel and face?
I believe that, but I don't think they.
I don't think it's intentional. Right, we're doing it. Baszler, Shirai, Belair and Sane.
My goodness gracious!
I'm going to let you do this one first this time.
I don't even know. Well, let's knock these off one by one, should we? Baszler ain't retaining.
No.
Nope.
It ain't going to be Belair.
It's not going to be Belair, so it can only be 2 people.
And I will tell you this now, Jack, nearly for a fact. Maybe not on the night, maybe the week after, maybe at the first defence. Whoever doesn't win it gets turned on. Whether Shirai turns on Sane or Sane turns on Shirai, that's happening.
The one thing I will say that I picked up on, interestingly, is Io is got a match also at this Worlds Collide thing. And I was thinking, why? She's in the bloody title match.
It's a card subject to change.
So I was like, that could be a reason. Kairi Sane's walking out. Charlie.
Oh, he's backing his girl. Are you ready to see Io kick the shit out of her?
I hope. If that means Kairi Sane stays face.
I think Io Shirai wins and Kairi Sane turns on Io Shirai.
If Kairi Sane turns heel, I am worried about her. Because
I
don't
not.
think she'll be a good heel.
I'm not. I think she'll be a great heel. I think she like. I went back and watched the Lucha Underground stuff you told me about. She was fantastic. I think she's got it in her. The pirate gimmick lends itself to being heel. Pirates were cool, but bad guys. I think that's it. I think that's her. She could go further at this point now as a heel than another smiling babyface. She's a very good smiling babyface, Jack. Don't for a second think I'm dumping on your girl. I'm not. She's a fantastic wrestler, a fantastic character, and got all the career. Everything you say about her is true. But I think at the minute, with the women's division in the state it is across the whole of WWE, if not the whole of wrestling, she can go so much further as a badass heel pirate bitch than another smiling babyface who comes out with great music. Because think, there's parallels to Ciampa. In terms of Ciampa was a very, very good face.
That's what I was thinking before you said that.
Ciampa was a very, very, very good face, but he went so much further as a heel. And Kairi can do it. Even stupid stuff like, I'm not going to speak English.
Oh, man.
And there was a very, very prominent Japanese female pirate lord who was a bitch. Mistress Khan, I think her name was.
I don't think she will keep the pirate gimmick if she turns heel. I honestly don't.
I think she'll keep it. I don't think she'll be very cheesy with it. It is a little bit cheesy now in a good way, in that with the steering wheel that she does and all their moves are named after it and everything, and she comes out with a hat. Perfect. But I think as a heel, she will dial it down, she will embrace it, but at the same time, dial it back. Just put it on hold. Because also, if she dials it down and she even stops it, like you say, when the inevitable face turn comes in 1, 2, 3, 4 years on main, wherever, when she re-embraces the pirate, that's going to be a pop.
I worry about her booking as a heel.
Yeah, but that's not her. You can worry about anyone's booking, man. What do we always say? I always say to you, we don't judge the booking. Because otherwise we will just be negative. We're a positive pro wrestling podcast.
Io turns heel.
Oh, I'm not convincing him. I convinced him on Riddle, but I'm not convincing him. That's the first one we've disagreed on. And the main event.
Oh, by the way, that is so heart over head.
Yeah?
Massively.
I can tell by the way you were thinking. Because you were thinking everything Ben says is right. But it's Kairi Sane, man. Main event time.
Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, ladies and gents.
2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls. He's going to be good.
Is it Cole's time?
Oh, it's Cole's time, man.
Is it Cole's time?
Cole's time.
It's got to be Cole's time.
It's the way.
I'm really worried it's not Cole's time.
It can't be. It's got to be. It's got to be Cole's time. He predicted this. Everything makes sense. Gargano goes up, and then Ciampa goes straight to main when he's back.
You know why I'm worried?
Why?
Gargano's not going to main.
Why? Where's he going? 205 Live?
Possibly. I don't think he leaves NXT.
What, forever?
Until Ciampa's back.
Oh, man.
Vince clearly wants DIY. That's why he ignored 2 years of booking and booked him as a tag team on main. So if he wants DIY, he'll probably not want Gargano on his own. Or he will want Gargano and he'll bury him and he'll be on main event every week. I think Triple H will keep him on NXT and have this super babyface champion like we all want, like he's wanted.
No, I love the idea of Gargano never winning the NXT title.
I don't think he should.
Like, I love it. Like, he's fought and everybody knows how hard he's worked and he's clawed and scratched to get this title and he never gets it. I love that idea.
The other thing that was worrying me as well is this was meant to be Gargano versus Ciampa one final time, and the fact that Gargano then didn't have to re-enter the match, the Fatal 5-Way was to decide who means they wanted Gargano in that match for a reason. So I think Gargano will have his crowning moment. It's so, you know how yours were heart over head, mine's head over heart. I don't want it. I want them to crown Adam Cole. But the other thing as well, I want Adam Cole on main.
No.
Adam Cole's ready for main.
I would sacrifice that for Adam Cole title win right now. Because Johnny Gargano Cole win it.
He's gonna. It pains me to say it. Because I'm the biggest Adam Cole fan in the world. You know I am. He's my boy. But I'm going for Gargano to beat him. That's why they've kept 2 out of 3 falls. Cole can look strong as hell in that.
You could say the flip side of Gargano, though.
Gargano's going to overcome the odds in 2 out of 3 falls, overcome the Undisputed Era in the same way that he would have overcome Ciampa. If this was Ciampa versus Gargano, Gargano wins. Full stop. And I think that's still where they're going to go. That's the plan. In New York, Gargano lifts the belt. And they have got a history of using Adam Cole to put people over.
He is there to do that, but I think it's just his time, man.
Are you going Cole?
I am going to go with Cole.
There we are.
Adam's time, man. It's the Undisputed Era's time.
Well, I was going to ask you, as a tie-break situation, who would take the fall who takes the first fall in the main event? But I don't think we'll be in a position where it's tie-break, will we? Because we've got different answers there.
Yes, I can see myself taking this punishment. But I'm going to stick with what I've got.
I'm sticking with it. Oh, it's risky, isn't it?
It's
risky.
Damn risky.
Whatever happens, it's going to be a great show.
Sure is.
People are already online going, well, they may as well just not bother with WrestleMania. Oh, do one. Do one. Why even have a main roster? You're not clever. You say it for every takeover. You're not clever.
Oh, to be fair, the Ring of Honor Super Show does look good.
Yeah, but
I know that's not what you're saying, but just pull that out. Oh, for a start, I will say, someone's come out this week and said something that I disagree with. Jay Lethal has come out this week and said that it's not WrestleMania weekend anymore.
yeah,
It's a celebration of wrestling. It's wrestling's weekend.
It is. But it's called WrestleMania weekend.
Because of the amount of indie shows and people go for them as well.
That's the thing. If it's not WrestleMania weekend, why are you holding the G1 in New York at the same weekend?
That's what I was going to say.
Go and hold it in Washington or
if
LA.
WrestleMania wasn't there, you would not be having that.
If WrestleMania wasn't there, it wouldn't be a thing.
It wouldn't be a thing.
Now, don't get me wrong. Props go to Jay Lethal for being the first non-WWE star to main event a Madison Square Garden show in 30 years, I think it said, something like that. Congratulations, Jay Lethal. Point number 2, Jay Lethal, amazing wrestler.
Yep.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
But
You're dead wrong.
this goes to everyone on the internet going, Vince has killed wrestling, Vince has killed wrestling. Without WWE, without WrestleMania, and without Vince McMahon, wrestling would have died. It was him and his company that have been the constant. Yeah, okay, you're all very, very clever because you all like New Japan and you all like Ring of Honor. We're all really, really proud of you. But without WWE, there is nothing. Because that want and need and that bar for wrestling is gone. I'm sorry, that's the truth. Without WWE, there is no AEW. Without WWE, there is no New Japan. Or Ring of Honor. Because there would be no need to provide alternatives. Or sorry, the success of New Japan.
The success, yeah. I wouldn't say the
success of
because
New Japan and Ring of Honor's wrestling companies.
Just on their fans alone in Japan.
But I will rephrase it and say the success of it. Without WWE, AEW wouldn't be selling the t-shirts that they do.
Not a chance.
And that's fact. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen at home, that you were just turned off the podcast. That's fact. Without Vince McMahon, wrestling would not be where it is. And that's a positive, not a negative.
So it's not wrestling weekend, Jay Lethal. It will always be WrestleMania weekend.
Yes. I look forward to seeing you at Takeover Tampa Bay next year. Right, guys, as you are all probably aware, we've mentioned it 1 or 2 times, it's WrestleMania week starting tomorrow, which means we are 24 hours away from the go-home Raw for WrestleMania 35. So to celebrate one of the biggest Raws of the year, here is our resident legend, Chris, to take a look at some of the best go-home Raws in history.
Hey everyone, my name is Chris Small, and on behalf of the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, this is a small package. WrestleMania season. It's like Christmas for a wrestling fan. Between January and April each year, the road to WrestleMania is when WWE puts on some of their best programming. Angles unfold in a usually logical manner, stars make their returns, and sometimes the spotlight is cast on someone who has been waiting in the wings, giving them an opportunity to show what they're made of on the grandest stage of them all. The WWE, more often than not, excels at promoting their flagship show, particularly with the Raws and the lead-up. Some of the most memorable moments in professional wrestling's history have taken place in the weeks leading up to WrestleMania. To refresh your memory, I'll be counting down the top 5 go-home Raws of all time. Woo! Number 5, March 28, 2005, Fort Worth, Texas, the go-home for WrestleMania 21. This go-home Raw did a lot to further the main storylines on the Raw side going into WrestleMania. 21 was where the first Money in the Bank match took place, and, aside from knowing it would be a multi-man ladder match spectacle, no one watching really had an idea of what it was or how it would play out. Jericho's highlight reel with all 6 competitors was featured on this show and built up proper anticipation for their fight. However, this one is ranked so high by me because of the segment between Triple H and Batista. The two did a contract signing for the World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 21, where Triple H was walking in champion. Batista wasn't exactly known for being a good promo yet, but this segment really showed off his natural charisma. The cheers he was receiving, the attitude he was displaying, Batista as a character was really shaping up, and this go-home Raw did a lot for that, and made people want to see him win the title, which is pretty much the entire point of a show that is plugging your pay-per-view. For that reason, it's number 5. Woo! Number 4, March 31st, 2014, Washington, D.C., the go-home for WrestleMania 30. Going into WrestleMania 30, this Raw did a fantastic job of keeping many plates spinning. Having to progress the story of the main event combined with the Daniel Bryan Triple H opener, this show isn't necessarily remembered for anything huge happening during the night, but rather just fantastic booking. John Cena ambushing the Wyatts while disguised as one of his followers continued that storyline, The Undertaker coming to Raw to have a stare-down with Brock Lesnar continued that storyline, and Roddy Piper showing up for a Piper's Pit, talking about it being 29 years ago when he main evented the first WrestleMania, did an excellent job of celebrating the past and the importance of the event. Not only that, but a lot of hype was built around the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, this being the first time it would take place at WrestleMania. Having a group of upper mid-carders and former world champions in a segment speaking about the desire to win was a smart move and made it seem that much more important. WrestleMania 30 is regarded as one of the best WrestleManias of all time, so fitting that this show would be one of the best go-home shows of all time. Woo! Number 3. March 17th, 1997, Syracuse, New York, go-home for WrestleMania 13. Bret Hart is a childhood hero of mine, as he is for pretty much every Canadian kid in my generation. One of the reasons he's reached mythical status in wrestling fans' eyes is his ability to get a good match out of anyone, which is exactly what happened here in the main event with Psycho Sid for the WWF Championship. The main event of this show was a steel cage match, which Sid went on to win after interferences from Steve Austin, Bret's WrestleMania opponent, and The Undertaker, Sid's WrestleMania opponent. What makes this match so memorable is its attention to detail and layers of nuance. Now, I know that sounds like a pretentious thing to say for a wrestling show, but the fact that Austin interfered on Bret's behalf against the champion Sid, so their WrestleMania match would be for the title, is incredibly smart booking, and something that made complete sense and didn't insult the audience's intelligence. When Undertaker came out to ensure Sid stayed champion so their match would remain for the belt, added to this further. In a current culture where everything is over-explained, it's nice to think back to this simpler time. Furthermore, Bret's rant after the match and his swearing would go unedited and became the reason that Raw would be on a 7-second delay from that point on, which really was a very early seed for what would become the Attitude Era. Now that's gotta be enough reason to bring it in at number 3 on this list. Woo! Number 2, March 26, 2001, Cleveland, Ohio, go home for WrestleMania 17. On this evening, not only did the Go Home Raw air for WrestleMania, but the final WCW Nitro was also broadcast. These two shows occurred at the same time and, famously, had Vince McMahon broadcast himself from Raw to Nitro. From a historical standpoint, it can't be overstated just how important this moment was. It simultaneously ended the Monday Night Wars while also kicking off the Invasion storyline when Shane McMahon appeared live on Nitro and revealed he was now the owner of WCW. If nothing else happened on this show, it would still be remembered all these years later. However, when you include some solid angles that progressed the feuds going into 17, including Jericho ambushing Regal while disguised as Doink the Clown, along with Austin and Rock teaming up in the main event, it serves as both an important milestone in wrestling and a quality booked go-home show. Historical? Yes. Memorable? Yes. But that only brings it in to number 2, because number 1 on the top 5 go-home shows of all time has gotta be March 22nd, 1999, Albany, New York, the go-home for WrestleMania 15.
Number 1 pick, baby.
No other go-home Raw could even be in consideration. That's just how huge this show was. Anyone who is a wrestling fan or grew up watching during that time has the show imprinted into their memories. Because this Raw would be the very first time that Paul White was referred to as the Big Show. Monumental. Oh, also at one point during the show, Stone Cold Steve Austin drove a beer truck into the arena and hosed everyone down with Coors. That was pretty cool too. All jokes aside, this moment is still replayed in highlight reels today, almost 20 years to the date it occurred. This one segment between Austin and the corporation has millions of views on YouTube and has been shared in mainstream media throughout the past 2 decades. They've even parodied and paid homage to it multiple times within the company itself. The live crowd was deafening, and this whole thing felt like a huge moment, which it was. WrestleMania 15 was the first of 3 that would feature Stone Cold against The Rock, and with this go-home Raw, fans were so invested going into 15 that the excitement and success of their first meeting was the reason the other ones took place. A show that happened 20 years ago that is still talked about today ranks number 1 on any list, and certainly does on mine. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed and mostly agreed with my top 5 WrestleMania Go Home Raws. On behalf of the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, this has been a small package. As always, thanks for listening.
How can it not be?
Is that
Austin, man. I'm a massive Austin Mark, man.
See, before I ask you my question, I was a rock man. You know how there are things in fandoms that split a generation? In our generation was Rock or Austin. I was a Rock boy.
It's just the same, man. Raw or SmackDown.
I was a SmackDown guy.
I was Raw. I was Austin. You was Rock, man.
Wow, could we be more different? You're Kyrie and I'm Io. It's all up there. Was Austin with the beer truck not only the greatest go home Raw of the WrestleMania generation? Was it the greatest moment in Raw history?
It's got to be right up there with
This Is Your Life.
Alexa Bliss version.
No, not the fucking Alexa Bliss version.
Or
The John Cena one.
no, I'm talking about the Titantron, man. Shane being on the Titantron, and that's got to be up there. I don't care about what happened after in the invasion.
You mean the Shane's
original-
bought a WCW?
The original, that has to be up there.
Later on in the year, after the WrestleMania hype's died down, we're going to look at some of the greatest Raw moments of all time, and we're going to do a special about that because we have to talk about Jericho's debut.
Yes,
We have to
Jericho's
talk
debut.
about Angle in the milk truck and whether it was just a copy of the yeah. So there's a lot of Raw segments we
And
need
then
to talk about in the
Rock
future.
throwing Austin off the bridge.
Yeah.
Chucking his tile in the river. Damn, man.
Wow. We will talk about some of them. Pipe bomb.
Exactly.
It's up there. It's up there. Right. That's a later date. Right now, we need to talk about yet another female Japanese star.
Yes.
And we need to talk about Asuka.
Need to talk about the Asuka
Because
situation.
as we all saw on Tuesday night, Asuka dropped the WWE Women's SmackDown Championship to Charlotte.
Queen.
To the inconsistent and impossible and see is her gimmick is that she's thick as shit. Because she'll sit in a promo and stand there and go, I've not been handed anything. Yet gets handed 2 title shots.
Just to rile you up. She said on Twitter. Have you been following Charlotte Flair on Twitter
No, I don't.
recently? Because she has been on fire.
And whatever Charlotte Flair's Twitter game is, it's not Becky's, is it?
When she did a Spanish fly and says, learning from my daddy. Oh man. You gotta admit. But then she said she's never gonna apologise ever again. And I was like, damn right, Queen!
Don't get me wrong, I know that she hasn't been handed everything, but I think in kayfabe terms, she has a very selective memory.
Yeah, but that's what she's saying. She's just trying to annoy you.
So the rumour or the news that was reported in the week is that the reason Asuka dropped the title to Charlotte was because Vince was getting a bit worried about the number of matches on the Mania card, and by taking the title off of Asuka, they didn't need to have a women's title match for the SmackDown brand. Asuka is now advertised as in the Women's Battle Royal, and it gets the number of matches down. I want to know what's going to happen in this main event.
I don't think they're
both titles?
I don't think they're going to unify.
Strong rumours on the rumour mill today that they are doing.
They should not.
They should.
Don't do it, man. Why? They've got less titles to go for.
Women's tag titles.
Oh, yeah, because the men have got how many?
How many more men are there than women?
You think about that roster. You think that's a 40 women roster, at least. They're going to have...
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're going to have one title.
Yeah, but think about how much TV time that roster will get. And compared to the men's, right?
It's going to be... If they're sticking with this revolution, or evolution, whatever you want to call it, they're just going to get the same amount of time.
But they're not, though, are they?
Yeah, but you think about Raw, for example. I bet there's just as many women's matches as there is men's now.
No, but you have to talk about WWE as a whole. Because when was the last time, outside of the Becky, Ronda, Charlotte thing, that the women were on Raw, on SmackDown.
We had the Asuka thing.
But the match that Charlotte was in.
I just look at the size of that roster, and you can't possibly have one title.
You can't. Here's why you can, and the big thing is why we can, is because we've got, because Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda were in that main event. Asuka didn't have an opponent. That's the lack of main event women in that in that division. So you can't sustain 2 women's titles, but you can have Fire and Desire go after the tag.
Ooh.
No, but it doesn't need to be breathtaking. It doesn't need to be amazing because it's a tag division. It's not a main event division.
You think when Sasha and Bayley drop the titles, they're going to go back? They're going to be main eventers again.
When was the last time they were main eventers before that?
Yeah, well, they're going to be. You know what I mean? They're too big of a name to be floundering around the mid card. You get Asuka. Baby goes over to Raw. She's going to be in the main event scene. It's going to be so crowded.
I'm all for the unification because, yeah, okay, Bayley and Sasha are going to be on TV every week. Charlotte, Ronda's going. Becky, going to be on TV every week. Asuka should be on TV every week. But Naomi's not. Fire and Desire aren't. Lana's not. Carmella's not. Natty's not. Beth's only back for Mania.
It won't be that long before Carmella's back in the main event.
It will
because of how over she is. And
no,
because she sells.
It will because they're going to unify the belt. I think they'll unify the belt. The only other thing they could do, and I've been thinking about this, and I don't want them to do this, but I know how Vince thinks, I know how WWE think, and I know how they like to add fucking weird stipulations. It's going to be whoever pins who wins that belt. Becky pins Ronda, she wins the Raw. Becky pins Charlotte, she wins the SmackDown. Charlotte pins Becky, she retains hers. Ronda pins Becky, she retains hers. Ronda or Charlotte pin each other, they win both. I don't want to happen, but I can see them throwing some bullshit like that at it.
I'd sooner that happen.
No, I just
if you're gonna unify them, give them a mid card title.
What? No, I agree. In terms of the size of the roster, yes, but you've got to think, how often are they going to get on TV?
Yeah, but you cannot say.
Look at the men's mid card titles. What they mean nothing, and you want to throw another mid card title in there?
IC title.
It means nothing. It's Lashley versus. You didn't even know who the champion was. I can see the look on your face.
No, I'm trying to think of it when it did because it wasn't that long ago. You think last year? You think last year when we had the Miz, we had Balor going at it, and we had Seth Rollins. The IC title was massive.
And in 12 months, they've destroyed it.
They haven't destroyed it. Still got a little bit.
Compared to what it was.
Compared to what it was now, the US title just fell off the map. I agree.
2 months ago, they announced the women's tag, and we both said they need to float. They need to do the same with a world title.
It's too big of a roster, man.
It isn't.
They can do it with the tag team title because there's not that many women tag teams.
But what I'm saying to you, yes, it's a big roster, but talk to me about the women that matter.
Well, you're gonna have to get rid of some because there's no point of having these people.
Oh, they are because they did the live shows in the house circuit and main event.
All these Ruby Riot's got to be up there or not? Even though she's been booked like shit. She's still a main eventer.
No, but I think they should. I think if the reason I didn't think they should until they put this title in that match, because above anything else, Charlotte has to have some stakes. Otherwise, she's completely wasted in the match.
Yeah,
like Becky's got her pride and her momentum and backing up her words on the line. Ronda's got the title. Charlotte had nothing to lose, nothing to gain, everything to gain. But now she's got some stakes as well. She's got something worth defending, and that is added to the match. I think they have to unify these belts.
They can't.
What would you say if it was WWE and the Universal?
I still don't agree with that.
I think they should just ditch off the Universal. But I think they have to. I think, and also the next question was going to be, if they do unify them, is this the first baby steps towards a soft brand split? We've already seen Kurt on SmackDown. We've seen Samoa Joe coming. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I really don't know. If they unify it, and they don't have SmackDown women appear on Raw, and what the hell are they?
Oh, they have to. They have to. If they unify them, it has to be a fluid
Because
women's division.
SmackDown are not going to have a title.
No, I agree with you there. Unless the only way around that, and it is very, very weak, and again, I don't want it, but if you have the Women's World Championship on Raw, you have the Women's Tag Team Championship on SmackDown.
No. Can't be. Because not you're going to put all these tag teams on SmackDown?
At the beginning of the brand split, when they re-split it, I'd have said, yeah, I'd have had a tag team division on one, and I'd have had a women's division on the other. But now we've got so many belts, it's unfucking believable. That's why 205 Live got made, because they realised they can't sustain that many belts on Raw. So they bumped the cruiserweights to their own show that no one watches. Do you feel for Asuka?
Yes and no. Because I think this could be the making of Asuka. People have gone mad.
How many times have we said that?
How many times? Look at Becky Lynch. This is exactly kind of what happened to Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I see your point.
And people went mad. What the hell is happening to Becky Lynch? Superstars have come out, multiple ones, and backed Asuka. What the hell is happening? She's talented. She's one of the best in the world. So far, so on. Fans have gone crazy. This could be the making of. This could be exactly what Asuka needed. She goes on to Raw. She goes over to Raw. People are going to lose their minds.
I had no idea why you were speaking then. I'd send her to Raw. I'd turn her heel.
Exactly.
I'd pair her or Heyman.
You could. Possibilities are endless.
Because I'd have Heyman come out, and we all think Heyman and Ronda are going to pair up when she turns heel, right? I don't like it because it's just the Brock thing, but we all think it's going to happen. If he comes out and goes, I've been watching, Brock's gone to UFC, he comes out and he goes, I've been watching the women's division, and somebody has caught my eye, she's exactly what I like in a fighter, and he calls her a fighter, and he says, and he basically does a big promo, and we all think, here comes Ronda, and it's not, it's Asuka. She becomes a legit threat and a mega heel in one minute. She never, she can't speak English. She never has to speak.
That's what I'm saying. Just like Nia Jax punching Becky Lynch in the face was the best thing for Becky Lynch.
Yes, it was. Nia's still dangerous.
Still best thing for Becky Lynch, though. Cheap heat is good heat. That's my catchphrase.
Yeah, but there's cheap heat and there's being a liability in the ring, which I've forgiven her because she took her beating. I still think that's what the Rumble thing was about. Go out there and be humiliated by the men. And Becky got her moment backstage where she chucked her into the thing. I get it, but I still think Nia. I would send Nia to NXT, not as a punishment, but go and do a year, work hard and learn to be safe in the basics, and then we can push on and make you a monster.
Without going off on a tangent, reviewing that now, I think it'd be the end for Nia Jax if you could. The amount of humiliation and shit she'd get off of fans. Oh, you're back down. Look at you.
What? Being sent to the show that the fans prefer?
Yeah, I think that people would just shit on her.
Nah, I don't think they will. I think she takes enough shit from the idiotic, pathetic body shamers that she'll just brush it off. Look how much shit she took for the Becky thing, and she's turned it into a gimmick. So I think she'll be fine. It's not even a punishment. It is just you need to be better in the ring. And pairing her with Tamina hasn't done anything because Tamina's not much better in the ring.
If not all. Which is a shame because Superfly was one of the greatest. Should we answer some questions, man? Have we wrapped up on this Asuka thing?
We can carry on. You've got more to say then.
Not really. I just think I do feel sorry for her, but I don't think it's over yet. That's the other thing I thought. If this could be something, it could lead to something. Which is again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm gutted for her that she's gonna. Well, she's not. She's in the battle royal, but she's gonna miss. In terms of last year, Shinsuke and Asuka were the draws. This year, they're both in battle royals. But then again, I tell myself so Strowman. So, and if they plan this, if they plan this, they're absolute genius.
Vince hasn't planned anything in 20 years, mate. He hasn't planned a damn thing.
If we job Asuka out, just like people are going to lose their minds, then we can. That's going to be the thing that pushes.
You know what? Someone in the back has thought that. Someone in there has thought it just because they need someone to replace Ronda, and she'd be perfect. Should we answer some questions before we go? Right, every week we hit Twitter and Facebook and ask you legends to send us in some questions for us to answer. We pick 2 or 3 and we answer them live on air. This week we were inundated with questions. You keep throwing us the good questions, and unfortunately we can't get through them all, so keep listening in the future. Your question might come in for future weeks.
Yeah.
We've got 3.
It'll be a rollover. Don't worry
Be a
about
rollover. Right, Michael Allen has asked, who do you see being the face of NXT in the next 12 to 18 months? You can follow Mike on Facebook at the123Mike. Who do you see being the face of NXT?
Pete Dunne.
Good answer. Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
Or Baba Tunde.
Baba Tunde, man.
Or Riddle.
Oh, no. Keith Lee. And his Croatian counterpart. I can't remember his name.
Dijakovic. I don't think it'll be Keith Lee, because I think, spoiler for next week, he will win this year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You know why he will win it? Because he is limitless. Also, he's winning Entrance Music of the Year. It's brilliant. Jason McIntosh on Facebook asks, what do you think of the SmackDown potentially moving to 3 hours with the move to Fox? It was inevitable, weren't it? They were always going to try and do both shows at 3 hours.
Yeah, looking back at it.
I don't hate 3 hour Raws. They can be a chore, but I am, first and foremost, I am a 10-year-old boy that loves fucking wrestling. So the more wrestling that's on, the happier I am. If SmackDown's 3 hours, it's an extra... Well, it's not. It's an extra 40 minutes of adverts and 20 minutes of wrestling. But it's more wrestling. They can tell more stories on SmackDown. They can have more stars on SmackDown rather than most of them being on Raw. Ideally, they'd both be 2 hours, wouldn't they? But they've got to be level. They've got to be neck and neck.
I don't hate it, but I don't agree with it.
What do you think...
If it's, from a business standpoint...
What do you think of the adverts for SmackDown after the move, advertising Brock Lesnar on SmackDown?
I don't think you can read too much into it, if I'm being honest.
Potentially on Brock on SmackDown?
Never thought of it, but...
I'd send Brock to SmackDown.
Why not?
If SmackDown stays at 2 hours, I'd send Brock to SmackDown, because then it's not always not here every week. It's we couldn't fit him in, could we? we didn't have.
Yeah.
You know when you hear like, oh, Nakamura's fit, but creative haven't got anything for him, and you think how? Brock, yeah, stay at home. We've got nothing for you. That'd be hilarious. And finally, Dwight Michaels asks, Conor McGregor at Mania, yay or nay? This week he retired from MMA via Twitter. Mr. Finn Balor tweeted a reply saying, I'll see you at Mania. It should be noted that Finn Balor is a very big social media troll.
Yes.
Do you want to see Conor McGregor at Mania?
Do I?
Yeah.
No.
No, me neither.
But...
Can't stand the man.
Neither can I. But... If he's going to take down... if he could be the one that took down Ronda's husband...
It's not going to be. Because, I tell you why. Because... Oh, I know it's all an act, but this, I do what I fucking want. Vince is going to go, brilliant, we paid him in. Here's $3 million for one appearance at Mania. We're going to put you in the ring. You're going to do this segment on Alexa Bliss's segment. Or, you know what? At the end of the Andre Battle Royal, you're going to jump the barricade and square off with Braun.
Gronk! Let's touch on Gronk.
It's not. He's only going to get on a mic and swear and say, fucking... And they'll be like, oh shit, right, well...
yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. If you keep...
Oh,
If you just do him physical stuff, little physical bit, that's it. Don't touch your microphone.
Amazing fighter, massive prick.
Yes.
I don't want him near my wrestling. Not my graps.
For everybody that is... I've seen a lot of people that's non-American wrestling fans saying, who the hell is Rob Gronkowski? I will tell you. He's one of the best ever. He is a 6'7" giant. He is incredible. Incredible. One of the, legit, as a tight end goes, he is phenomenal. And he is a massive star. Massive. Like, people
in
love
the
it.
US.
Yeah, in the US. He's massive. if he can transition and, do it, let him do it.
Do you know why he won't be? Because it doesn't matter if he is the biggest movie star in the world or whatever he does now before he finally comes to WWE, he will always be Mojo's mate. And people don't give a shit about Mojo Rawley.
No.
And his daily affirmations that he does in the mirror. And I'm sorry, that'll be it. Like, I've got nothing against Gronk. I'm not a big fan of his, but I don't really know who he is or care. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be in a position when he's on a Mania card, a pay-per-view card, because he's always going to have, he's Mojo's mate.
Yeah, but isn't Ronda the Rock's mate? I know you'd sooner pick as your mate, but...
No, but at least Ronda is a combat sports person.
Yeah.
And you can see the natural progression. Like, in terms of if he wasn't a massive idiot and you could trust him, in terms of Conor McGregor wanting to do something after his career, I understand why they look at wrestling. Because it's a watered down pantomime version of what they do.
Yeah.
Right? I don't agree with that sentiment, but I understand the people that say it. It's cartoonized, it's over the top, it's over theatrical, and he can do it for years without thinking, actually, I'm going to get my nose broken. He can just do it, go out, learn to wrestle, become a really good, whatever. But from the NFL to that's too big of a jump. They're nothing like each other.
Yeah, but Roman Reigns was come from the NFL.
No, but went and learnt to wrestle first. It's not like Roman Reigns was Ben Roethlisberger, is it? And then rocked up. Roman Reigns played in the NFL a bit. He didn't get drafted, actually. He didn't make it.
No, he didn't.
He didn't get drafted. So, yeah, he was a football star.
Lesnar went to the NFL. He went to the NFL after.
After.
It can be done.
I
worry because Gronk's a big guy. Like I say, 6'7". He's a massive guy.
Oh, we'll look forward to the WrestleMania showdown with Big Show then, shall we?
I just worry that his body probably wouldn't be able to take it because he's falling to bits.
You know what? I'd give him a spot at Mania again. And I mean a spot. I don't mean a match. I don't mean a segment. I don't mean a program. I mean he can enter the... like Shaq did. He can enter the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but then get tossed over the ropes by Mojo. Oh, he turned on his best mate. You know what? Gives Mojo a bit of heat. Well done. But I don't want to see a whole devoted segment to Rob Gronkowski. Personally.
What I was saying, if he goes away and lands it.
The thing is, though, he will always be the guy from the NFL that came. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that'll always be... Can you move past it? You know what I mean? Like Moose, I love Moose. We've watched him wrestle live, absolutely fantastic. They make a very big thing of going, he was an NFL player.
Yeah.
He's never going to get past it. And that ruins it for me, personally.
I'd just probably let it fly for a while. See how he does.
You know what I mean?
Would he ever go to NXT?
Of course not.
Absolutely
not.
But
right. I think that's all about the time we've got for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say a big thank you to Jack for joining me.
As always, bro.
A big thank you to you guys at home. 5 Moves of Doom podcast does not happen without its devoted listeners. We do appreciate every single one of you. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast wherever you listen to, and make sure you head to our website and get them t-shirts. That Becky Lynch one will not be around forever. We've heard good things. I'm not just blowing my own trumpet. It does be thing. We will be back next week to talk about WrestleMania and our predictions. It will be an hour of WrestleMania talk as we get ready for the biggest weekend of the year, the show of shows, the granddaddy of them all. But until then, it's been Ben and Jack for 5 Mod. I'll see you later.